Welcome to Detroit Sports Plus. So much going on right now at what is supposed to be a slow time of the year.
No such thing in this
No
town.
such thing right now. It just does not stop. Thank you for joining us here on DSP alongside Derek, Ken, and then our special guest, Mr. James Jackson.
We must be talking Tigers today.
We are talking Tigers, but out of the gate, what are we talking about? The news coming down from Michigan. ESPN reporting today that Sherrone Moore will serve a 2-game self-imposed suspension. Self-imposed right there, so that means the university is handing it out. Going back to, how thoughtful. And then once we get into it, yeah, how noble. For going back to the Connor Stallions investigation. Your thoughts out of the gate? I mean, this has been talked about for so long, dating back to the beginning of last season.
Yeah. Well, there's only one reason that you ever self-impose a punishment on yourself, right? And that's because you're hoping that it's the only punishment that gets thrown on you. So, I don't know. We'll see what comes of that for Sherrone Moore. But the interesting part of it is that it's for the 3rd and 4th games of the season, not the first 2 games. Michigan is saying it's because Sherrone Moore went to Oklahoma. That's where he played. So they probably don't want to suspend him for that game. But I would argue if I'm Michigan, I would rather lose the Oklahoma game than the Nebraska game if you have to choose one, because one is a Big Ten game and one isn't. So I don't know. We really
Why not just go out and win them both? How about that?
Yeah, we really don't know what the NCAA is thinking. So this could be the last we hear of it, or it could be ours.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
It's like a kid grounding themselves,
Yeah.
you know, and deciding what things that they love that they have access to and which things they don't. I think it's really interesting because it's starting to become sort of a Michigan tradition where one of the assistant coaches gets to coach a couple games every year. I think it's really nice for the career, for the culture, the growth of the program. Really good for those coaches to get that experience.
Yeah.
James, what do you think?
There's a lot of things going on in Ann Arbor right now. I mean, they're losing their president as well. He's moving on to Florida. So I'm just going to reserve any comment as to what's going on up there in Ann Arbor.
But also, I mean, this is self-imposed, and you just said it. This is kind of getting ahead of whatever could come from the NCAA. But Yahoo Sports was reporting earlier today that there is a committee on infractions hearing for Michigan set for early June. Do you think this is the last that we've heard of this, or
No.
could more even come from this? And what do you think it could be?
Well, is it the last we've heard of it in terms of suspensions? It's really hard to say. But, obviously there's going to be some sort of punishment handed down, whether it's going to be an empty punishment like, a slap on the wrist, or I don't think it's going to be wins vacated or anything like that. But we really don't know anything. Pretty much all of the details that we've heard have been speculation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the self-imposed suspension tells you that at least U of M thinks something's coming down.
Yeah, you wouldn't self-impose a harsher penalty than you expect on yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, it's probably was either going to be some sort of a suspension or longer.
Well, I will say this. The NCAA has to come out and definitively declare whether or not Michigan knew what was going on with Stallion on the sidelines, especially for that CMU game. I would think that they would have to say, yes, the University of Michigan knew about it, or no, the individual was solely responsible for that.
Yeah.
And that's why we have investigations, and maybe we will have another layer to this in early June.
And I just want to say, luckily, we have an extremely competent and well-reasoned committee in the NCAA to come up with that for us.